Hi friends, I'm Kelly Carter, Home Fashion Director at Bloomingdale's. Thank you for joining us here at Bloomingdale's on screen. We want to hear from you always, so drop your questions, your comments, your deep dark secrets into the chat. We're streaming live from this gorgeous Matouk showroom in New York City. And this afternoon we're celebrating the latest Matouk Schumacher collection with an exclusive first look. With us here today is the amazing creative director, Mindy Matouk. Hi, Mindy.
Hi, Kelly. Thank you so much for coming to the showroom and waking up with me.
Thank you for having us.
Yes, it's so exciting. We're really excited to be here at Bloomingdale's on screen and to spend time with you and the viewers at home. And we're really, really excited to show you the Matouk Schumacher collection for the first time. It's going to be so nice to have that in our audience's homes for the very first time.
I'm really excited to see that. I know Matouk is a family business. Can you tell me about the brand's history and your collaboration with Schumacher?
Absolutely. So Matouk and Schumacher are both heritage companies. Both of us are family owned. I believe that Schumacher has been around since 1889. We've been around since 1929. So two companies that have been doing luxury, artisanal quality, handcrafted products for a really, really, really long time. It made so much sense for the two companies to come together. And when that opportunity happened, it was kind of serendipity, we thought, bringing our commitment to handcrafting luxury linens, operating out of Fall River, Massachusetts, and marrying that to the Schumacher. They have the most extensive archive of prints, I believe, in the country. And so having access to that and their commitment to beauty and luxury, it was really, really lucky for us.
I feel like it's the perfect partnership.
It really is.
So as creative director, what is your design process?
Oh gosh. My design process definitely starts with asking a lot of questions. I think that, we're not a fashion company, so we don't wipe out our products each season and start fresh with new, everything brand new. Like, we really are adding to the collection that we already have. I'm always asking, what do we need? Like, what do our customers need? What's missing from the product line? Are there new innovations like that we can make our fabrics better? Not just sheeting, but bath and table. So I really make sure that we're not resting on our laurels, that we're always looking at ways to improve, looking at ways that people are sleeping. Fashion changes, home changes, everything constantly moves forward. So we want to make sure that we're always paying attention to that. So I really do start with those questions. Just like really making sure that we're creating the most comfortable, highest quality bed, bath, and table linens for our customers. Having said that, I'm talking about comfort and ignoring aesthetics, and it's not like that at all. I very much care about the aesthetics. I have definitely been known to chase strangers down the street to see if I can get a picture of their dress so I can use the color combination.
I like it.
It's dedicated. I don't care. Arrest me. I have to have that. I've got to have a picture of that, please. Thank you so much.
I love it.
Yeah. And then I also love traveling. I find the minute I step on a train or a plane and I start moving, my head just, I get a lot of good ideas and a lot of inspiration from that.
Well, that's great. Well, I'm so excited to see the collection.
Thank you. So do you want to come over and look at some of our beds? Okay, so this is our first bed that I'm going to show you. This is San Cristobal. It's part of the Matouk Schumacher collection. This is our third collection with Matouk Schumacher, fall 2021. I believe that this one is based on a Schumacher document that maybe is like, I don't know, I want to say 100 years old, and we discovered it.
Oh, wow.
And we really wanted to work with the colors to kind of modernize it. We also do it in like this really beautiful green that we don't have here on the bed. We have this really beautiful bright sky color. And it's just very fresh. It has this beautiful scalloped edge.
I love this detail.
Yeah, thank you. So this is a taped edge. We use a cotton tape on that scalloped edge. And we make this in Fall River, Massachusetts. So the fabric is printed in Italy. It's on our 500 thread count Luca fabric, which you'll see across our product line.
This feels amazing.
Yeah, it does feel good. So we use this on all of our printed fabrics. We use the Luca quality sheeting. So it's really nice, if you want to mix and match prints. This is a print back here from our very first collection with Schumacher. It's called Burnett. And you know, we're going to talk more about mixing and matching, but I think this is a really great example of how, you know, you can mix and match prints.
So. Oh yeah, it's gorgeous. I love the traditional with the more modern.
Yeah, the Burnett has a knife edge with, you know, a taped finish. Yeah.
And I feel like toile is having, I know it's like very traditional and it's around all the time, but it's having like a major comeback.
It really is. It really is. We found that, and you know, we always want to pay attention that we're not, you know, we want everything to be fresh. We have like a very fresh aesthetic, I think, and so like doing it the way that we did it with this beautiful toile, it's very clean. It doesn't, it's not too busy. It was very successful, I think. And then also on this bed, we partnered it with Hatch. Hatch is not part of the Matouk Schumacher collection, but it goes, like I said, like everything in the line ties, they all tie into each other. So when we're doing our Schumacher designs, we always make sure that in the main collection that we have a lot of things to tie it back to. This is, so this is Hatch. This is the most beautiful detailing. I don't know if you can see it, if our viewers at home can see it. It's a French knot, and this is on our beautiful Milano sheeting, and it's just a really, really beautiful.
I love touching it.
So nice and crisp. It's one of my favorites for sure. I love it. And then we have our beautiful monogram, which I know that customers at Bloomingdale's can do all of that custom monogramming if they're working with an associate.
I love a monogram.
I like a monogram too. It's a great way to bring, you know, color if you like a more white bed, but you want to bring a little bit of interest in color and even some texture. So, yeah.
Definitely.
Okay, and so then the next bed that we can talk about is Garden Gate. So this is Garden Gate in violet. Garden Gate also is on the 500 thread count Luca. I keep saying thread count, but we try not to focus too much on that because it's also so important to talk about, you know, the weaving techniques and the yarn that the cotton that you're using and the way that it's woven and manufactured. So. But it is 500 thread count, so I'll mention that. And we're also showing this with Hatch. This is another colorway of Hatch. We did it in about 5 or 6 colors, and this is our beautiful green, grass, I can't remember which one, so many greens. And then we're also showing it with our new coverlet, which is called Augusta. So I wasn't born there. I was raised in Augusta, Georgia. So shout out to Augusta.
Shout
yes.
to Augusta. My mom lives there.
Right now?
Yes.
You're kidding.
I spend lots of time there.
Oh my goodness.
But I'm from New Jersey, guys.
Okay, so we'll have to. My parents are still there. We'll have to connect them.
Yes, definitely.
I love that. It's great. Right. So here we have Garden Gate and Hatch again and Augusta. So it's a really beautiful bed. And then this Garden Gate comes also in the azure and the pool colorways. And you can see they're just so different. Yeah, so different, but they still, you know, like the green looks amazing with the azure, looks awesome with the violets.
And it's such like a beautiful loose floral.
It is. I really think that, you know, one of my favorite things to do is to have, you know, solid colors, white, you know, the green, and throw in a couple of cases just to get like a splash of color, and then doing that you really can just change everything up with a couple of pillowcases, which is so nice, and it's so fresh. I love this print. Yes.
And I love this monogrammed case.
Yes, the R. Yep. So
nice.
We love a monogram. We love a monogram, I have to admit it. I'm not ashamed of a good monogram. We also do really beautiful applique monograms, which, you know, I know that you can do custom working with the shop managers, shop stylists. And this is another really beautiful monogram that we did on Augusta, which I was just making these beds up earlier this morning, and I kind of found this one, and I was so excited because I hadn't seen Augusta monograms yet, and I just think it looks so beautiful.
I love the green on green.
I love it too.
It's very pretty.
Yes, very elegant. So it's kind of subtle. It's not, you know, popping out.
Right.
So I love that. So then moving on from Garden Gate and these guys,
I want to get in this bed.
you can. You can definitely get in this bed. Someone should sleep in it, right?
Right? I should sleep in it.
Absolutely.
And it matches my robe. This is the Mateo, guys, just in case you're wondering.
This is the Mateo robe. It's Wake Up with Matouk.
Exactly.
So Kelly and I had a little slumber party last night.
We did.
Yes.
We're
here we are.
I'm in the robe.
And we
We're
just
both in
woke
the robe.
up, right?
Yes. I have my bed head.
That's exactly right. So this is Astrid. Astrid is actually exclusive to Bloomingdale's, I believe. I think we did it in 3 colors, the champagne, the azure, and silver. And I just love this.
I love
it so much. It's so elegant. I saw this picture from a hotel, it was an old picture from a hotel somewhere in Italy, and it was like one of those old historic, palazzos, and the linens looked like they had been passed down for 4 generations, and it just has, it's so beautiful, it's so subtle, and obviously we can do custom thread colors, so if you want to just add like a pop of color onto your bed, you can do that. Yes, and Astrid is on our Sierra sheeting, I believe. So obviously you can, not obviously, but obviously if you know the Matouk line at all, you can do things like, change the base quality fabric. So you could put, this embroidery on any sheeting quality that you like, do it in any thread color, add a monogram, so forth and so on.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And then we're showing this with Porto, which is a beautiful new linen program that we have. It's stonewashed linen, European linen. It gets softer every time you wash it. We're so excited. It has this really beautiful detailing. It's got, a really subtle, very small flange with a satin stitch. And yes, I really love it.
It's beautiful.
And
I
this is
love the
another
texture that it
colorway
adds.
of the Augusta that we have. So I love this bed. It's one of the lucky things about working at Matouk is there are so many ways to mix and match everything.
Right.
And we put this bed together this morning, and there were 30 different things we wanted to put on there, and so we ended up with this just to kind of keep it nice and neutral.
No, it looks beautiful.
It does.
It's like layered with textures, and I love it.
Absolutely. But you could also, if you wanted to, you could pop a pink monogram in there just to add a little bit of color.
Oh, I would love that.
Yeah.
I'm not self-absorbed or anything, but I do. I would monogram
I don't know.
everything.
Do you think I don't think of a monogram as being self-absorbed. I think it's a design thing.
I think
for
so,
me,
too.
I just love the graphic nature of letters and numbers and things like that. You don't even have to put your monogram. You could put. We sometimes do monogram samples, and we put XO.
That's
like
really
an
cute.
O in the middle and an X on the sides.
I like
just kind
that
of like
idea.
a sweet little kiss and a hug, I suppose. Yep. So that's Astrid. And then over here on this bed, we basically have Astrid also.
Right.
With the garden gate in the azure Augusta, and we're showing the Astrid in silver over there. So it's another
That's
colorway.
beautiful.
And I think that all of these beds that we have here are showing different ways to use prints, which I think is so hard sometimes. It's like you have these big prints, like you may not want to do the whole bed, or you might want to cover the whole bed in your flower garden, which is super nice too.
I know, and these all feel so different.
Yeah, they are.
So let's go.
So that's the collection
I
for
love
fall
it. It's
2021.
beautiful.
And now we're going to step over here. I put together some different fabrics that we can look at to mix and match. I know that can be kind of intimidating, especially with the product line as large as ours. So one of the nice things that we have is everything is in the Bloomingdale stores is swatches. So if you're in the store and you're working with someone, and we try to have work tables for people to kind of get in there and play around with things. I think, it can be really intimidating to do that. I mean, just looking at, something like this.
Right, it's like, where do you start?
Where do you even start?
And what goes with what?
Yeah, what goes with? Well, to me, I think that the place to start is with finding one thing that you love. Start with the sheeting quality, start with a color, start with a print, start with just like, what's the most important thing to you? To me, it's about comfort. It's always going to be about comfort.
That's interesting. As a creative director, I did not expect that.
Well,
because I don't care about comfort.
You do or don't care?
Don't.
You don't?
No.
Are you serious? I'm not a high heel. I'm not a high heel. My husband and I have 3 daughters, and one of the things I'm always telling them is just find what makes you comfortable in the world. Like, I don't want to be worried about, high heels or what have you if it's going to make me uncomfortable, because that's just going to, mess me up. And I think with what you're putting on your bed or what you're taking a bath with, sleep is so important, and we are, learning so much more about how important sleep is. And I mean, I'm not gonna lie, like, comfort is so important, but the way that it looks and the way that you feel sleeping in something or wearing something, like the aesthetics of it do affect you psychologically as well. So I obviously, like, let's say that they're equally important.
Yeah, you're right.
Let's say they're equally important. Yeah. I mean, I have seen people, with a duvet using upholstery weight fabrics that are really beautiful, but you're putting an upholstery weight fabric on a duvet.
I would suffocate.
You suffocate, but the duvet can't breathe, and the it's just too heavy. So you're really sacrificing your comfort, and it just, for me, it doesn't work. And why do upholstery weight fabric anyway? Right. You can do breathable linens. So as far as like the mixing matching, I think that, like, using prints that are of different densities and scale. So for instance, this is one example of a print that is so, it's got a specific density to it, and I think you can put this with it and it looks really beautiful.
Yeah,
it looks so beautiful, but then you might not be that kind of person and you want to do that.
That looks great too.
Right? That looks great too. Or you can do that, and you have your pretty monogram that matches an element in here.
Right. So this pulls out this blue,
completely.
And I like the way the openness works with the
completely.
Density.
Exactly.
Yeah, that looks great.
There's a lot of different ways you can take it, and it's the same. I mean, this is another good example over here. For instance, you can start with, this is a very dense pattern.
Oh yeah, I love the brunette. This might be my favorite.
Oh really? That's so funny. Our vice president of human resources loves brunette too. I believe she has a red berry on her bed right now. We were just talking about it, and she was telling me how much she loved it. So,
I love it.
Yeah, I love it too, and I love that you love it. You're a grown human being, and you're not afraid to put hot pink on your bed.
No,
why
not
would
at all.
you be?
I
right?
have a purple bed.
You do?
Yes.
What color purple?
It's like lavender, like very
So
low,
kind of violet,
like felt.
Nice.
Wool.
My middle daughter's name is Violet, so obviously I love purple.
Yeah, so it's violet.
Yes, it's violet. So yes. So we have but look, you can put it with the light pink, and this comes as a solid color sheeting. So there's just so many ways that you can take these things, and you put it like that, and it looks one way, and then you add that, and it's totally different. These two look fantastic together, right?
Oh, that looks so good.
The scale of them is so different, and the just like the overall density of them is so different. And then I also love putting like neutrals with pink. I think that really kind of elevates it, and makes it a little bit more sophisticated. If someone doesn't want to be all pink, you can go there. And then I just think it's kind of like one of those movies where someone morphs. It's like that with the sheets. Like you can start all pink, and then you start doing that, and then you start doing that, and all of a sudden you've got a very neutral bed. There's just a lot of different ways. Right. So this is Prado. This is part of the Matouk Schumacher collection. And yeah, it's really beautiful. This is Gatsby. I want you to feel Gatsby. Gatsby is definitely my favorite. I suppose I could say it's our highest quality sheeting.
What does that mean? Like,
well,
ooh,
that's what it means. That's exactly what it means.
I know what it means.
So right? You kind of have to feel it a little bit. It's super lightweight, which I think scares some people. My husband and I have had a set of Gatsby on our bed, I think for maybe 15 years. And it's it's definitely, the cobbler's kid not having any shoes. Like, we have this one set of sheets that I love, and I have access to anything, right, to try, but those Gatsby sheets. I'm like, why? What else do I need? That's all I have.
That's all I would need.
I know, it's
They
really
feel
beautiful.
so good.
Yeah.
They're beautiful and comfortable.
Yeah, I love it. So, right. So I think that that's so nice to see. And then, you know, something I have discovered, I think in the last couple of years, coverlets.
Mm-hmm.
I never understood coverlets. I really kind of thought of, you know, like the bedspread when I was a kid, and I think, you know, we were looking at, you know, talking to our customers, and one of the most requested items is coverlets. And so I was like, gosh, like why? And so I started sleeping with a coverlet, and I realized, you know, I get it kind of. It's, you know, in the summertime, you know, it gives you the weight. I feel like I need weight on me when I'm sleeping. Like I need to feel secure and cozy. And so like having that coverlet, you know, in summertime you might throw your duvet off and you're left with a sheet. And so I just love having like this option of having.
I touch that.
Of course you can. You can.
I have
you
a
can
coverlet.
touch it. You
I'm
can
a
caress
coverlet
it.
person.
You do. What
Yeah.
kind of coverlet do you
I have a linen.
I'm sure it's Matouk.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
It will be Matouk.
Absolutely.
I love it.
So all of these come in, you know, 3, 4, this one might come in like 5 colors. This is the new Augusta that we were talking about. I love the weight of this coverlet. Yeah, I have a friend who moved to Hawaii part-time recently, and he was just telling me the other day about how important coverlets have become to him. Like he never got it either. And then he started to sleep with one, and he realized that, you know, coverlet that's the jam. So
That
it's
is
all
the
about
jam.
coverlet.
I
Yeah.
heard bedspreads are making a comeback too.
I think they are. There's an interior designer I love. Her name's Rose Uniacke. She's, I think, British, and she makes these beautiful beds. And it is almost like a bedspread. And it like comes all the way down to the floor. And I think that like I've put like a king size coverlet on a queen bed, and it kind of has that similar drape. So you're like going up. So just thinking about these things, like changing up a little bit. You don't necessarily have to buy queen size for queen bed. You can like use the king size and do that and get that same look, which I think is really cool. It's so elegant, you know, it's just like timeless and
Very elegant.
Yeah, it really is. And then, you know, some people want to sleep with just a fitted sheet and a duvet because they want to get up in the morning and
I know.
and just go. They fluff their.
I've heard about that hack.
Yes.
I can't commit. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
I'd say my colleague and friend and partner in product design, Colleen, and her husband do that. They have the duvet, and they have. I hope that Colleen doesn't mind me
telling
telling everybody
business.
this, but she loves it. They swear by it because it's, so they have the 2 little babies, and they just do it, and it's done. They can have their bed made, and off they go.
That's really easy.
Mm-hmm.
We have a question from our friends in the audience. Do you make your bed differently depending on the height of the mattress? That's a good question because I feel like height varies so much.
It does vary. I mean, even looking around our showroom, you can see that there are different heights. This one's super tall. This one's very low. I think the modern, or you know, like the more modern aesthetic. But I personally, my bed is a little bit higher. Do I make it different? Well, like I was saying, you know, like buying an oversized, like buying a king for a queen. You know, another great thing at Matouk is that you can custom size things. So if you want to have a longer drape or what have you, you can do that. So I mean, it does matter. It definitely does matter.
Okay. I have a low bed, so I'm always like tucking.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah.
There's like stuff
Well, on a
it.
low bed, I think like tucking the coverlet under the mattress for like that really clean, if it's a platform bed,
Yes.
is so stunning. It's so
I love
beautiful
the way
and
that
fresh.
looks.
I
but
love the way
then
that looks too.
I'm like, sometimes I'm like, I don't have time.
Yeah, no, I'm the same. Definitely the same. I do not tuck it in the morning though.
Can we talk about these?
Sure. So this is a new part of our collection. This is part of the Matouk collection. This is feather, and this is actually really extraordinary. It is an applique leaf, and then this is embroidery over that applique, which is something
really
that we, I don't know if we've ever done anything like this, and this is on Gatsby. So
that's why I was drawn to it.
Yes, it's kind of amazing. And then this is a great thing to look at when you're talking about like mixing and matching. You know, this is like a really kind kind of monochromatic palette. This is Serengeti, which is Matouk Schumacher, and this is like all of these things. There's so many ways that you can put all these together and just kind of morph it, or you can have, there are endless possibilities, but you shouldn't let that intimidate you. You should kind of, someone in a meeting the other day said, never let perfect get in the way of the good, and I can kind of get drawn into all of these are so beautiful. Where do I even start?
Yeah.
And we had this conversation about that, and Stu said that, and we kind of talked about that. I was like, you know what, you're right. Like any of this would be amazing, and you know, just pick something and go with it. As long as the comfort and the quality are there, you're going to be good, and you're going to be happy about it.
Definitely. And these are all so beautiful. So I love the tips. These are so great. I have another question. Fabrication. What is the best fabric for bedding?
So the best fabric for bedding, well, you can have cotton percale, you can have cotton sateen, you can have linen, you can have poly cotton. We do have an Easy Care poly cotton line, and when I first, was thinking about that, I was like, no, like no polyester, but it's one of our most beloved products. It's called Portofino. People love it. It doesn't wrinkle.
Oh, so that's the benefit.
Care about that, but not only that, it's really, really, really soft and comfortable, and it's really beautiful. And just it's a great product. So I guess I'm okay with the poly cotton. There's linen. And I think that some of that just is a matter of preference. People think about linen as something that's only for summer. I've been hearing a lot of people tell me that they like linen in the winter.
I love linen.
Do you like it in the winter? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So there you go. Another point of reference. So I was kind of surprised to hear that. I just feel like linen is this thing that we think about for summer, and so I'm so excited about the new collection that we now have, because people will have it for the winter. I personally am a percale person, so I
is that like crisp?
So that's the Gatsby. The interesting thing about Gatsby is that it is so crisp and it's a percale, but it almost has like that slip of sateen or silk. I know that silk is a really popular fabric for pillowcases because doesn't mess up your hair, it's good for your skin, and so forth and so on. But doing a couple of Gatsby pillowcases, I think will make you a happier person.
Okay, that's
I'm
good
kind
to
of
know.
kidding, but I don't think it'll make you happier, but it'll make you sleep. It'll make you sleep really well. It'll make you sleep really well.
Well, I love all this. After I make my bed in the morning, or before I make my bed, I don't know, sometimes I don't make my bed. I usually have coffee, and I want to talk about these gorgeous tables.
Absolutely. So this is our new table collection with Schumacher. We've never done table with them. We started out with bed. We morphed into, we've done some bath with them, and Colleen and I, the whole time that we were working on bed, every time we'd be like, oh my gosh, this would be the best tablecloth, this would be the best napkin, or what have you. And so finally, for our third collection, we launched the table. So we did 4 prints. This is Rubia, and this is Duma Diamond, and they all look amazing with each other. So
I love this.
Yeah. So if we step over here, this is the iconic leopard. And
I love an animal print.
I do too. I love an animal print. I want to do this in like 20 different colors. I think it's a neutral too. My husband used to say, just lacquer it up or put an animal print on it and she'll buy it.
See, I love it.
Yeah.
I'm she. I will buy it.
All right. So we can go shopping for animal prints later after we get the sleep out of our eyes.
Right.
Yes. So we have these 4 prints, and they all really, I show them, these 2 together and these 2 together, but they all look amazing together. You can do these 2 together, you can do these 2 together. So it really is a mix and match situation. Schumacher is made for table, and we are just thrilled to death that we were able to bring this into table. We have a very deep breadth of other, like more solid colors and more neutrals in the Matouk line, and they actually pair really beautifully into this as well. But even just, as a whole, like you can just have fun. Even if you're just doing napkins, just
Yeah, I love that.
environmentally sustainable, get rid of the napkins and the paper towels and so forth and do these. The quality is definitely the same standard that we hold ourselves to for our sheeting and our bath, and we couldn't be more excited about it. And we hope to keep pushing forward and doing new designs and new colorways. We're thrilled.
This looks like a wallpaper I've seen before.
This is Schumacher's Citrus Garden, and you've probably
I've
seen it.
I've definitely seen it in my
probably have
magazine days.
And Dara, the creative director of Schumacher, when we were talking about the prints that we wanted to do for a table, Dara was like, "You have to do Citrus Garden." She's like, and walked out of there. This is the one you have to do.
She's an icon, if you don't know.
She is an icon.
So she knows what she's talking about.
Totally. When she tells us that we have to do something, the way she told us we had to do Citrus Garden, Colleen and I listen. And it's stunning. It's gorgeous. Usually when we're working with Schumacher, we play around with colors, we play around with scales. So we're really just taking their design and like just printing it. Like a lot of it comes down to the fabrication is going to change depending on what fabric you're printing.
It feels really nice.
Yeah, it's 100% linen. It's printed in Italy, a really beautiful old mill that we use to do all of our color work and printing. And we love it. We're so excited about it.
I love this. Is this Joseph Franck?
It is Joseph Franck, yes. It is the Joseph Franck print. And I believe that it was reintroduced in Schumacher probably, I don't know, I don't want to give bad information, maybe 6 years ago. And I think that, you have seen it on a lot of old historic.
Definitely.
Yeah, the fabric, the wallpaper. And in the Schumacher collection, it comes in, probably 3 or 4 different colorways. And this is the pool colorway, which is slightly tweaked for table. I actually love this because the original Schumacher fabric it's embroidered, so it's all hand stitched. And so when we were printing this, you can see it almost like it's not a fake, it's not like fake embroidery, but it has a feeling of having that hand stitched embroidery to it.
It's kind of like hand blocked too.
It does. It does. It has that hand blocked aesthetic.
I love it.
I just absolutely love this one so much. And this is kind of a neutral that goes with so many different things. I'm excited to see this in other colors as well. But for now, I love it in this beautiful blue. I think this would be so amazing in the holidays or in the summer. Like when would that not be fantastic?
Like an evergreen.
It's completely evergreen. And these look so great monogrammed. We don't have any monograms on this, but we were just playing around with colors and stuff. Colleen and I were talking about, Colleen wants to do a yellow monogram on this green. And I was like,
that.
no.
That's such a good gift too.
It is, but then the yellow is going to look amazing. But then with our program, like picking your thread color, you can do yellow and you can tie that in, or you can do hot pink if you want to, or you can do navy blue. Like there's so many colors that green looks great with.
So good.
So you could even do green if you wanted to.
You could do green on green.
And the same thing with these. Taking this and doing a light blue, or just choosing a really beautiful color. So there's a lot of opportunities. Obviously with the Citrus Garden, it has so many colors in it that that you can choose anything. So
I love this napkin.
When you put a monogram on these things, it really becomes, just something that you're gonna use for a really long time and just super special, really special.
I know, it just adds something that I really love. It makes it really, really special.
Absolutely. We have to have you out at the factory in Fall River, and we'll show you where we do our monogramming.
I love that.
It's a whole process that you wouldn't even believe still exists today. So it's
really beautiful. That you've created like so much interest in these table linens.
Well, I mean, pandemic living, and we had been talking about. I'm not going to give the pandemic credit for any of this, but we had been talking about doing table from the very beginning. But then when you are at home, that much. We were eating 3 meals a day, and you really realize like how important it is. None of this is meant for a party. You can use it at a party if you want to. This is this is breakfast.
Right.
And then you throw it in the washing machine with your other laundry. And, this isn't precious. But obviously, it can be precious. It can look really beautiful, and it's perfect for entertaining and celebrating. But there's no reason to save it. I'm really excited about having this stuff so that we can, I think it's environmentally sustainable. It's really beautiful. And it gives importance to the idea of having a meal with people that you love and you care about, even if it's just yourself.
I know.
I would eat a meal all by my little self with this, and I'd be very happy.
I would monogram my napkins and have dinner with myself all the time.
Yeah, let's make it happen.
Yes. I have another question for my friends in the audience. What's a good way to make the bed and put it together in an elegant way?
Well, we've talked about a lot of ways of doing that. I think that, like I was saying before, I think that there are so many different ways of putting a bed together. You can do the fitted sheet, throw a duvet on it. You can have a fitted sheet, a flat sheet, a coverlet or a blanket, and then your duvet. And then some people might even have, something, a bed scarf or something like that on top. Or you can, like any of these combinations. Personal, as I have gotten so used to having like a blanket or a coverlet, so I do love having that, especially in the summertime if the duvet becomes too much. We recently got a chill pad. I'm not sure if you know what those are.
I know what a chill pad is. How do I explain?
It's a little bit of a point of discussion still in our house, because I'm not sure that George loves the chill pad, but he because it's water runs on a system, and you put it. It's like a mattress. It goes over your mattress pad, and it
like keeps you cool.
Keeps you cool, right? So I've always slept very hot, and so I wanted to try this out. I think I heard on a podcast or something, so I gave it a shot, and it's super, super, super comfortable. So I think having some in the winter, it also can heat up. So I think having something like that, can make a determination about like how many layers you need to put on your bed. But for me, like having that has changed a little bit, how we're sleeping. I do love having weight on me, like that security feeling. So, like in the wintertime, I have to have a duvet. That's super important.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. But aside from that, I think, like, again, like choosing one thing that you love, and not letting yourself get inundated with all of the different options that are available, and just going with something you love. Working with an associate that knows you and knows your style, I think is really important. They can say, you're going to love this. This is a sheeting quality. I know how you and your family sleep, and let's do that. So I think that those are things, there's so many different considerations to that.
Right. I have one last question before we wrap up. How do you make the bed look elegant with minimal pieces?
Well, that's kind of the Rose Uniacke
right
style that I was talking about. I think, you know, anybody who wants to do that should look at her Instagram account and look at some of her beds. There's so many talented designers that we work with. You know, sometimes when I'm walking through our factory looking at custom orders, I'm just kind of inspired and amazed by the work that they do. But I think that, you know, like that super clean, I think that the Astrid and the Nocturne and Porto bed are great examples of, you know, just keeping everything fresh and clean and smooth. I think that you know, elegant coverlet that kind of comes down a little bit lower is so important. And honestly, like, what's better than just like an all-white bed? It's fresh, clean
love
hotel.
an all-white bed.
It's kind of amazing, right? So you can do that, and then you can throw in a couple of printed pillows if you want, or not. Don't do anything. I think we have in here somewhere. This is a Nocturne. This is a sateen, but it has the hem stitch.
Oh, yep.
So, you know, all of our sheeting qualities are available with the hem stitch or with the satin stitch, or, you know, in any way that you could possibly think of. But, you know, look at how beautiful that looks together. I mean, that's
that texture is
the
gorgeous.
texture, like using texture, using you know, like the again, like you can see the quality of that fabric. You don't really need to have much else other than that.
Well, thank you so much, Mindy. I can't tell you how helpful this was and how beautiful this was. We're so lucky to have a view into this gorgeous showroom.
You're welcome.
I can't wait to shop your products on bloomingdales.com. And for those who tuned in today, thank you as well. Go out and check out the new collection at your local store. I'm reading a teleprompter. I have to stop. Sorry, guys. So if you're inspired to not only make your bed tomorrow morning, but also make it beautiful, if so, we got you covered. See, I can't read today. We've got you covered. Keep an eye out for our post-event email, including a lookbook with today's featured products. Thank you again for joining us on Bloomingdale's On Screen. Bye.